Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I have a 2022 Mazda CX-5 and I like it a lot. I'll make a full video about it soon, but for now, let's talk about the one thing that it doesn't have. Wireless CarPlay. Although it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, they only work with a wire. So I started looking for solutions even before I took delivery of the car. There were many options available on Amazon and AliExpress, and they cost anywhere between $50 and $200. I went for the Carlinkit 3.0 wireless CarPlay adapter for around 100 Canadian dollars. But before we check it out, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can make more videos. Why did I go for Carlinkit? Firstly, the positive feedback on forums and videos. Especially when it comes to cars, I like playing it safe. Secondly, post-sales support. In the last year, my adapter received 4 updates to accommodate for new iOS versions and new cars. My Mazda is a bit different when it comes to infotainment, as it doesn't have a touchscreen. So you use the shortcut buttons and the knob to control the infotainment screen. The home button shortcut sometimes wouldn't work on CarPlay with the adapter connected, but an update quickly solved that problem. There are 3 different adapters available from Carlinkit. If you count this one too, 4. But this one is only for Android head units without CarPlay. I actually used this on my dad's old car, it didn't work that well. Anyways, 3 different adapters. Carlinkit 3.0, Carlinkit Mini, and Carlinkit 4.0. The 3.0 and the Mini are identical in specs, except the Mini doesn't have a USB port for charging your phone. The 4.0 supports wireless Android Auto alongside CarPlay, whereas the 3.0 is only for CarPlay. As I have an iPhone, I went for the 3.0 as the 4.0 doesn't bring any new features for CarPlay. Specs-wise, it's not a high-end device. It has a basic system-on-chip, a Wi-Fi/Bluetooth adapter, and an MFI chip that makes your car think that it's connected to a real Apple device. If you buy it from AliExpress, you might be asked to choose your car make. While you don't lose anything for doing so, you actually don't gain anything either, as there is only one adapter regardless of the make of your car. You can't really tell that it's a wireless CarPlay adapter from the way it looks. Honestly, it looks more like a portable SSD than an adapter like this. It's all glossy plastic, there's a USB-C port on one side to connect to your car, and a USB port for charging your phone. Carlinkit 3.0 and 4.0 have USB ports to charge your phone, while it's wirelessly connected to the dongle. If I want to connect my phone to the dongle just to charge it, I might just as well directly connect it to the car. So how do these dongles work? The first step is to make your car think that it's connected to a real Apple device. This is where the MFI chip kicks in. I don't know how they sourced this, I don't know the code behind it, but it seems to be working well for the most part. I said for the most part because my car gets confused every other month or so and marks the device as insecure. When that happens, I have to manually go to settings and mark the device as safe, and then I have to unplug and replug the adapter, and it works. The second step establishes the connection between the dongle and the phone and shows the interface on the screen. Wireless CarPlay uses Bluetooth for the initial handshake and Wi-Fi for the actual connection, so you need to make sure that your phone's Bluetooth is enabled. It takes around 20 seconds from the moment you turn on the car to the moment you see the CarPlay screen. This is around 10 seconds slower than wired CarPlay, and it's an acceptable delay to me. Obviously, it doesn't take into account the time it takes to plug your phone in. Most of the time, it's connected before I'm ready to drive, especially in winter. You might expect an adapter like this to be janky, but to my surprise, it works surprisingly well. I get the same resolution as wired CarPlay, my steering wheel buttons work, my shortcut buttons work, and most importantly, there is no lag when I'm switching between apps. Phone calls and Siri prompts aren't an issue either, I use them daily. What's the weather like today?
Expect some clear skies today. Daytime temperatures will hover around 1 degree, with overnight lows around -10 degrees.
However, there is a lag when you're playing music, and it's most noticeable when you pause or skip to the next track. I was looking for a smart device to connect to it so I can... From my experience, the lag is there even if the car has built-in wireless CarPlay, so I don't think it's a dongle problem. Wireless coverage is really good, which is a blessing and a curse. It reminds me of the old saying, anyone can build a bridge that stands, but it takes an engineer to build a bridge that barely stands. What do I mean by this? Well, If I'm in the car and if my phone is connected to the dongle, it's very, very unlikely that it's going to disconnect. And the placement of the dongle isn't going to be a problem. However, if I'm sitting at my office and my car's parked outside, if I decide to remote start my car and do it, it will still connect to my phone even if they're like 50 meters away. This is especially embarrassing when I drop my car at the dealership for an oil change, and while waiting in the waiting room, I watch TikToks and all of a sudden they start my car and it connects to the car and plays whatever it is that I'm watching on my phone. I have driven more than 17,000 kilometers in this car with the adapter connected, and the only time the adapter disconnects from my phone is when I drive through a very specific location. And that location seems to be on my way from home to work and vice versa. Every day, without an exception, it will disconnect for 15 to 20 seconds and reconnect as if nothing happened. I drove past the same area with a car that has built-in wireless CarPlay, and I was not able to replicate this. So my theory is that there's a strong Wi-Fi signal there that uses a specific frequency, which happens to be one of the frequencies that this dongle uses. After a couple of hours of use, the adapter will get warm, but not super hot. I was also able to confirm that it reaches a certain warmth after like half an hour of use and doesn't get any hotter. Although the adapter's interface seems pretty basic, there's a configuration page that allows you to change some settings and do firmware updates. You access this page from your phone and you can change settings like the sound delay and whether you're going to use the GPS on the dongle or on the phone. I tinkered with these settings and I found that the default settings are the best for me. I wanted to get a dongle for my dad's Corolla as well, but its USB port placement meant that the adapter would be hanging off of the port in the middle of the dashboard, so we decided to stick to wired CarPlay. But if your setup isn't like that, and if you don't have wireless CarPlay, this adapter, you should really consider getting one. There are also some advanced dongles that run full Android, so you can do stuff like watch Netflix or use offline maps. But as my car doesn't have a touchscreen, I didn't want to get one of those. Regardless, I do want to get one just to test it out and see how it compares to my adapter, but if that's something you think you're gonna like more, you could also get one of those. Just keep in mind that they cost a fair bit more. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking this video, checking out my other videos, and subscribing to my channel. Take care.